Welcome back, and today what I wanted to dial in and talk about is the act of being creative and creativity on a daily basis. Going back and actually making time for yourself, whether it's 5 minutes or whether it's an hour, is something that's really going to help you just to grow, just to improve, and if you're able to actually make it a daily practice, you'll have a time slot every single day to where you can just be free, you can just unload. Now, depending on how you sculpt and what you're trying to go after and create, kind of depends on the setup that you have for that. And what I mean by that is I have a few different ways I like to work and different projects that I work on. So I use just a simple base with a plumber's pipe, and I'll put a piece of newspaper up top if I'm doing a sculpture for a head, a portrait, or a monster or something like that. Or if I'm working smaller and I don't have much time, not sure where I want to go, and I'll just go in and just start with like a ball of clay on a board and just see kind of where it takes me. Whether I just want to put that down and kind of just work it into a wall piece like a face, or something that is just gonna be like a relief, or like you guys see on on the videos. What this helps me do is I start out with 3 ideas and just kind of meld everything together, trying to gather up and continue to work out my creativity, my inspiration, and my mindset, along with the process of learning and the best way to improve that. And when all 3 of those get together and you're actually able to do that, especially on a consistent basis, just mash them together and go out there and just have fun and create whatever it is that comes to mind, you're going to be golden. And you're really going to enjoy and get a lot out of the time that you spend in these spots. So here you see I just literally just put a few things together, and I have no idea exactly where I'm going to go with it. I'm just throwing on some clay and really just letting the clay work itself out. And I like to do this a lot of times because I think that just letting the clay kind of show you the way helps out a lot, because a lot of the things that we create eventually will come out of our minds, our experiences, the different things that we've gone through. But as you're creating, all of the things that you got in your head, you'll start building shapes in there, is basically what I'm trying to get at. So you'll start moving the clay in a certain way, and just like looking at a cloud, you're going to start picking up on different things that other people might not see. And you're going to start seeing things that aren't necessarily in stone and there, but they're there for you. So, different things I'm seeing here is just this little character kind of sitting down. I got a couple legs going here, the head. All my characters have these big funny ears. I really like goblin or gremlin ears that go with a lot of my characters. And I'm just going with it. The other big thing that I'm always going to keep grinding into you is not to worry about how this turns out, and to really, that way you can get the most out of it just by enjoying the process. Like this thing, along with a lot of my other characters, if I came in with a game plan and exactly what I wanted to do, a lot of my characters wouldn't have been formed. A lot of my Inner Demons characters started out as just a ball of clay and seeing where it took me. Now, when working and trying to improve, trying to do like likenesses and things of that nature and expressions, that's something to definitely work from, reference from, and to pull reference for, so that you can have something to work off of and be able to gauge whether you're on target or not. However, as you're building that and beyond that, it's good to still put your own spin on it and give it life. And as you can see here, slight little twist to the head. Since there's no armature, there's nothing in there holding it back, you can completely play with that as you're going. And like I said before, because I don't know what I was going for originally, or I didn't have a solid game plan, just moving it around and seeing what I can come up with and see if I can bring anything extra to life helps out. And I'm going to do a couple more little things right here. I'm just adding a tail in. I'm going to do that to give it a little bit of character, perk the ears up so you just actually might be hearing something or listening. And so here's something. Now, it is not about the speed of this or how fast you go. It is about just actually doing it. It's not that my hands move that much faster. It's just that I've done this on a daily basis. And every time I jump in, whether it's I only have 5 minutes today to spare, so that's what I was able to create. And I just had fun and I just got a new character out. Now, even though it's a short amount of time, I have something here. And later on, I can either come back to it when I have more time and keep plugging away at it. You know, I could create a sculpture to where I work on it in 5-minute increments because that's what I have. Or I could just use this as a study for a larger piece and just enjoy the fact that this is an idea I came up with, and I came up with it on the fly. And this could inspire a larger piece that I'd say, you know what, it would be really cool to do this type of character, something along the lines of this later on in the future. However, with all of that out, it's also just something good to have fun with and enjoy. And when you're working like this, it takes all the stress out of life and everything that's going on, you know, outside of this workspace. So I close the door, usually I'll put headphones on and it cuts out the world. And this is my special magic place that I get to go to, get creative, and I get to have fun. So, to recap, make time for yourself on a daily basis. Make time to have fun, to get creative, whether that's 5 minutes and you can just make this little smiley face, or whether that's an hour and you can actually work on a portrait, or you can start sculpting something really good. Regardless, you're going to enjoy it and you're going to appreciate it. And another thing is, once you get started, you're usually going to get a little bit more hooked, and you're not going to worry about leaving. So you set yourself up, you say, I'm only going to go in there for 5 minutes, and you can either enjoy it for 5 minutes and then stop, or you can get invested in it and actually keep going. But just releasing and flexing those creative muscles is just going to do amazing things for you guys. So hopefully this week has helped on this little character animal thingamajigger. So go out there, get creative, and I will catch up with you guys next week.